Hello friends, welcome back. I am Vivekanandan. So in today's video, let us discuss about the hot industries. What are the emerging industries? So where are the new jobs going to come from? So what are those industries? Let us discuss about those industries. In short, we can call those industries as the billion-dollar industries. So we are going to discuss about 10 different industries and sectors in this particular video. And at the end, we will also discuss about that one industry which is going to connect all these industries. So let us jump into the video. The first industry is going to be the energy sector. So when I mean to say energy sector, I refer to this particular area of renewable energy, where right from wind energy to solar energy. So the next set of jobs are going to come from there because the next set of innovations is actually happening over there. But the point over here is, for example, let us discuss about electric vehicles. We know that electric vehicles are going to take over the world in the next 10 years. But then the most important point over here is, even for that electric vehicles, the electricity, where is the electricity going to come from? Still we are going to take it from the existing sources like coal. So the point over here is the clean energy, green energy is going to improve, but a lot of innovations needs to be done there. A lot of jobs are going to be created for the simple reason. One another example would be, if you're going to take solar power, at least in India we have solar heaters occupying all the buildings, but then is the solar power sustainable enough for using it, consuming it for 1 or 2 more days? No, it is not sufficient enough. So that is where the innovations and inventions are going to take place. So the first sector is going to be the energy sector. The second most important sector is going to be the gaming industry. So gaming industry, we know that it is on the rise, right from playing video games to playing video games online in social media and today it has gone to the next level where fantasy gaming is also has taken over. So right from during IPL, we know that so many fantasy apps we were having. So that is going to continue for every other game, not only with cricket. So the gaming industry is one particular industry which is going to be a billion-dollar industry, where a lot of lucrative jobs are also going to be created. A very profitable industry as of now. So the second one would be the gaming industry. The third one is another industry, which is the education industry. So traditionally we know that India is a country which has always recognized the importance of education, but the current disruption is going to be like coming from the technology companies. You call them as the edtech companies, because right from training, giving education to a KG student, from you call this a K-12 education, right from school education to writing competitive exams to coding to whatnot. So many things are being given through, so many things are being taught through this online education. So this online space in education is going to take over. It is going to boom. The one another beauty over here is this particular education sector. A lot of jobs are going to be created, but you have people ready to occupy those jobs. So that is the beauty of this particular booming education sector. The next important sector is the food sector. So we know that food is an industry which is always going to thrive till human beings are alive on this particular planet. But the point over here is, today the awareness levels of having food has actually increased. So people know various different kinds of diet. All these things are happening. People are actually looking for healthy alternatives, right from healthy snacks to organic foods. Even if people want to consume some kind of a junk kind of a food, people are still checking the quality of oil being used in those kind of foods. So the awareness levels is very much increased in food sector. So anybody who is going to capitalize on this particular awareness and come out with new kind of dishes to new kind of packing and new kind of delivery or trying to create a new kind of market for this set of people, they are going to thrive a lot. So the next one, the another important industry is the food industry. So the another industry is something again related with this food industry, which would be the health industry, because it is a direct cause and effect. The food has a direct cause and effect on the health. And one more thing is, this is also one industry which is going to exist till humans are alive, because everybody is going to face some kind of a health ailments at one point of time in their life. So the point over here is, the disruption is actually happening like this particular form. For example, previously they just wanted medicines and doctors, but today people need some kind of a medical devices. But the and the other positive news is the life expectancy has actually increased a lot. When the life expectancy is actually increasing, you have to have people to take care of them. So you have to have people in that particular role as well. And apart from that, during COVID-19, this telemedicine has actually picked up. Video kind of conferencing, where for example everybody need quality medical expertise, medical advice. For example, a person sitting in Delhi, a doctor sitting in Delhi, he actually gives a lot of advice to people situated in a very any long or rural part of India, where they give advice to the primary healthcare center, the persons there in the primary healthcare center. So quality medical advice is also being given through this kind of technology. So the next one would be this particular sector, which is the health sector, and the next sector is another sector which is again related with food and health, which is fitness industry. So you go to any part of India or any part of the world, and wherever you wake up, you find people early in the morning going for a walk. So that is a level of awareness people have developed actually. So it is not just stopping in terms of only walking the roads. Walking in the roads, people get to have a lot of knowledge about yoga, enroll themselves in gyms, take up pilates, lot of other things are happening. But the disruption over here is going to be through online, because now everything is going to, people are teaching all these things through apps, through Zoom conferences. So that is one, and one particular area how it is going to emerge, this particular fitness industry. And the next one would be this particular industry, which is the learning and development industry, which you also call it as a training and development industry, because one particular common motto across the world is this particular thing, which we call it as learn, unlearn and relearn. So in other words, it is indicated that learning has to be a continuous process in our life to stay updated. So if that is going to happen, who is going to make us learn? From where? How are we going to get trained? So you need to have a lot of coaches, and today's coaches are actually in the field of, we also have coaches in the field of relationship. We know that divorce rates are increasing, stress is increasing. So you have coaches, some coaches called as relationship coaches, you have fitness coaches, you have coaches like law of attraction coaches, you have coaches who are helping writers to write a book, budding writers to write a book. You call them as author coaches. So coaches are coming into every other domain to help people, and this is one industry which is going to grow in the future. Next important industry would be this media industry. So we know we consume entertainment in very different forms, right from a radio to television to internet. But then today we have another platform which we call it as this OTT platforms. So the rise of OTT platforms is going to take over from now. So this media industry, and apart from that, we also consume a lot of news, and that is happening through a varied kind of apps. So in both these spaces, this particular industry is going to develop. And one more industry would be the banking industry. So banking industry, the traditional banking industry, we know the importance of banking industry, but then even in banking industry, they need a lot of technology to support them. For example, every bank, every account holder needs to have online banking presence today. And not only that, a lot of third-party apps, or you call them as a fintech banks, they are also taking over. New banks like neobanks are coming in, and you have banks like Paytm and Google Pay. So they are also called as third-party apps, or you call them as fintech companies. So these companies are also taking over. So the last one industry would be this industry which you call it as the e-commerce industry. For me, this industry is always a very surprising industry, because they are actually not creating a product, but what they are doing is playing a very important role of delivering the product to people at home. So once upon a time there was a big talk, people were thinking about do people will really order in companies like Swiggy and Zomato, but then they played a great role, and today that has not just stopped from delivering food products alone. Now it has turned into delivering delivering every other product, right from Amazon to Flipkart to Big Basket to Grofers. We see people delivering a lot and lot of items. So you also call this industry as this logistic industry, logistics and supply chain. So that is actually happening in a big scale. This is not only happening in the B2C space, from the business to consumer space, it is also happening into the B2B space, business to business space also. So these would be the 10 industries, and as I mentioned, one last industry which is connecting all these industries is technology. So today new kinds of technologies are actually taking over. So we know that all these industries, data is something very primary. So big data is actually taking upon, and 20 years before it was internet, and today they say that it is artificial intelligence. And we also have other technologies like IoT, Internet of Things, where all the smart devices of that particular place are being connected. Then you have 3D printing, then you have machine learning, then you have blockchain, which are all emerging rock solid technologies, which are a pillar of support, or it is the basic, it is actually acting as a base for all these 10 different companies which we discussed earlier. So I have also left out a few other good performing industries like the real estate industry, clothing industry. So these are the industries which are actually facing a lot of disruption and emerging very fast. So that is one reason I stuck with this 10 different industries. So please share your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching this video. Have a good day.